Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Orchard. I am your savvy life coach, LT, here serving you just a little bit of motivation for your day. Guys, listen, I am truly excited about what God is doing in this season for all of us. Although it may seem a little bit, weary, don't faint, don't fall out, don't give up, don't give up in the fight, don't give up in the race. Today we're talking some real things today, guys. Talking some real things. Why do we hide our vulnerability? Why do we blame ourselves for our own children's decisions and choices? Why do we choose to opt out of collaborations? You know, these are the things we have to ask ourselves. What is it about me that doesn't want to help? What is it about me that doesn't want to work with other people? Because and when I hear it, then it's their opinion, and just like I'm entitled to mine, you know. But when I hear it, it saddens me when I hear people say, maybe I'm just meant, it's just not meant for me to have friends. And I almost like fall out like, wow, the world? Like, I cannot believe this person just said that. What makes you not worthy of friendships? What makes you not worthy of collaborations and networking and people wrapping their arms around you and building those relationships and building rapport? What is it about you that you just can't do that? You know? So you have to ask yourself, is something going on the inside of me that maybe I'm not recognizing? Or maybe I'm not giving any light to? I'm choosing to bury because I don't, it's embarrassing to talk about, or it's embarrassing to think about. There are so many people who have dealt with traumatic experiences. Really bad traumatic experiences to the point where they just don't want any issue. They just don't deal with confrontation. They just let people run over. I have seen people run over victims because they felt that they could. And so I want you to know that although you have endured some traumatic situations, it doesn't count you out. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but I'm going to address one of the whys here. So why do most parents, blame themselves for, what did I do that my son ended up in prison? What did I do? What did I say? Or what didn't I do? Or what didn't I say? My daughter is choosing prostitution. And I don't understand why she does that. She comes from a great family. We are all believers. We are all working good jobs. We're educated. And I don't understand why she or he decided to go that route, or he decided to be a drug dealer. And so what didn't I say? It's mostly what I hear. What didn't I do? What did I say? What did I do? It must have been something that I did wrong. I made a post before a couple days or so ago, and this post is representing every parent who thinks that they've done something wrong, because you haven't. You cannot take responsibility for your adult children's choices. You cannot take responsibility for why your children decided to make the choices that they're making. Some years ago, I used to be that person that was, oh my gosh, I just, if I live my life like this here, then I know my children will be right. So if the fact that we're going through so much stuff, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And when my children would do things, or even now when they do things, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I used to think, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And I would tell my husband, am I not saying something right? Am I speaking in Japanese? Why don't they get this? And I'm sure there's other people who can attest to that. What am I doing wrong? They're not catching or grabbing all of this good wisdom. And there was a time, and if you think back, beloved, there was a time when your grandmother or great grandmama said you were sitting down with on the porch, okay, swinging on that tree, just swinging, just hey, grandmama, yeah. And she was telling you things and sewing into you. I remember that time when my great grandmother and I would sit on her porch. I mean, everything we ate came off her land. I mean, I learned so much from her. If the world would have shut down, I know how to plant my own food. I know how to make soap. I know how to make candles. Trust and believe. Medea Evelina Hardison made sure this would know how to live. I had to wash clothes on that washboard, guys. Yes, this one here. I consider myself city and country. Trust and believe, New York and Casita, Georgia. Okay, it's where I split my time most all the time. So trust and believe, I know how to cook anything from Mediterranean food, Cuban mojo, to collard greens, candied yams. You best be believing. So yeah, but I remember seeing my grandmother live this life of regret and obligation to her children. She would, I remember, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, one of my uncles, literally past 40 or 50, living with my grandmother. And I mean, would bring women in and out of her house. And then she would just let this happen. And I would just sit there and I would ask my grandmother, like, why are you letting this happen? You know, like, I mean, would just say different things, disrespectful. I mean, and I'm going to tell you, it would take me from 0 to 1,000. I used to imagine myself like ramming his head through that wall, man, like Joker, you got the wrong one. You got the right one with my grandmama, honey, you know, because if it was me, brother, you'll be through, you know. And so I remember, now I'm human just like everybody else, educated, got some certifications all through the roof. But at the end of the day, we are all wrapped in flesh. Stop dehumanizing yourself. Stop doing that. Okay. Yes, you are a pastor. That doesn't mean you're not human. I think it was Kirk Franklin whose son put him through some stuff, honey. And he recorded his father and tried to embarrass him. But the only thing that did was show that, hey, look, we wrapped in flesh. Ain't nobody on here that can say, I ain't go off on my kids before. There's not one person that can't say that now. They may be out here playing like they, got it all together and that, hey, because they got an image to protect. Okay, I'm so sick of folks doing that. If you will be, I guarantee for most of these ministries out here who are struggling, if you will be real about yourself, I guarantee you folk will flock to you. But the longer you stay phony will be the longer you stay in your stuff. Part of the reason why you stay in your stuff. So let's start owning. You know what? I didn't get some things right, y'all. You know what? I didn't make the right decisions, or own it. Own it. But my grandmother used to and then she used to tell me, I feel like I did something wrong. And so I was just trying to make it right. And to hear my grandmother say that at her age at one point, I'm like, no, that's condemnation. That is not from God. You did the best you could do with what you was given. And see, in those times, whipping them and I'm knocking the teeth out, that was like relevant. Okay. They had to plant their food. There was a time when people just had to work to do what they had to do to survive. People had 2 or 3 jobs to survive. I remember my grandmother walking a mile to work every day. She would walk up hills, down hills, and every time I would go with her. And I'm telling you, to see her work to almost the day she died, because that's what she knew. And she used to always tell me, T, or either Tweety, because that's my nickname, and I ain't afraid or ashamed to say it. She would say, one thing if you don't do, you continue working. You keep a job. You stay working. And so I learned that from her. But yes, I'm not going, you did the best you could do. So stop holding yourself hostage to why your son is the way he is. He's choosing this route for himself. I said, Mama, you fed him every day? She said, yeah. I said, you made sure that you had gas to keep them warm in the winter? She said, yes. I said, you made sure that you had an air conditioner in that window so they asses could stay cold. And I'm just gonna be real with you. They asses could stay cold. And so she said yes. And I said, so Mama, you did the best you could do. You did the best you could do. So people of God, listen. If this is you as a parent and you're sitting wondering, why are my children the way they are? Did I not say something right? Did I not do something right? Did I not give them something? Did I take away something that they needed? What? Stop thinking it. When your children become grown, listen, that's on them. My own daughter, I was telling my sister this morning about that. I said, my own daughter made decisions to walk away from shelter, free water, free lights, free rent, okay? Because she wanted to be grown out there with no common sense. I'm just going to say it for what it is. And I mean that by saying this. Wasn't because at the time she was living somewhere else, just wasn't given the proper tools. And when I try to give them to her, or when, anyone tried to give, she just wouldn't take it. And see, I'm being honest about my stuff, y'all. Listen, everybody go through. There is not one person who's exempt from that. It's how you deal with stuff. But I want you to know, listen, beloved, it is not your fault if your son ended up in prison. It is not your fault if your daughter ended up taking another route besides the route you wanted for her. What you have to do is pray and believe that God will take care of it for you. The Bible says he gives his beloved rest. Rest, beloved. Don't take on no more stress. If your children are not acting right, if they are losing their minds as adults or even as pre-adults, young adults, you better get on your knees, especially when you have given all you can give and said all you can say. You get on your knees. Even when they're doing good, you're praying for them, but get on your knees and you stay there. Let that be an everyday thing. Sometimes I'm praying every hour on the hour. Come on, beloved. Sometimes it takes that. You got to do what you got to do spiritually so that God can do what he needs to do on your behalf. And you got to trust him with it. So yes, for those parents who are feeling that way, honey, be delivered. Be delivered and rest. Be delivered and rest. Why is it that so many of us opt out of collaborating? Beloved, let me tell you guys something. Most of the time, I feel that most just don't want to collaborate because out of fear of losing something, out of fear of not being seen. Oh, well, wait a minute, this person come in, then they're gonna throw shade on my light. And see, the one thing I tell people when they say stuff like that is, honey, listen, when I walk in, I light up the spot. I don't need nobody's light for me. You have your own light. Listen, if somebody were to stand beside me, they're not going to dim the light. Have you ever lit two lighters together? What happens? It makes that light stronger. It makes that flame bigger. And it's more powerful. But see, like my pastor says, it's all in your mind. How you think. See, when people tell me, well, I don't collab, I don't do this, I don't hang with people, see, that only tells me this person has an issue with communication. This person has a problem, or there is a concern there with being social. And so, we have to own the fact that, hey, some things we got to work out. But being collaborative is not taking away from your brand, beloved. It is actually adding to it. When you network and you get to know new people and you build rapport, man, you will get to know some people you didn't even think you could meet. And then you don't even know if this person can take your business to the next level. But because you thinking small, you thinking, I'm not going to let nobody get close to me. I'm not going to help nobody. I'm not going to share nobody's stuff. I'm not going to tag nobody. I'm going to, and let's be clear. For those of you that like to go in my DMs and tell me that something that I posted it was powerful, post it publicly. Stop going in my DMs and not doing it publicly. Because what that's saying to me is that there's something you are saying to somebody else that's not good about me. And you don't want them to know that you for me. And that's what I'm thinking. That's what you have left me thinking. Okay. So if we are for somebody, we'll tell the world. We'll share it on Facebook. We'll share it on our page. We'll stop giving a like. Give a heart sometimes and quit being shady with that. I'm just gonna give a like. Everybody giving hearts but you. Stop doing that. That says a lot about you, beloved. It's singling you out. Like, what's wrong with this woman? Oh man. Are they all right? They hating. That's the first thing somebody gonna say about you. Your small thinking is putting you in a position to lose. And guess what? I used to be there. I used to be that person that said, they ain't gonna use my platform. For what? No, sirree, Bobby. They ain't gonna use my platform. That used to be me. And then I used to go and wonder why I wasn't growing. I used to be upset at other people for growing and didn't realize that I was the reason for my own stubble, for my own setback. Beloved, you have to know that collaborations are not to defeat you. Networking, when you go to these different pop-up shops and conferences, that's what you're doing. You're collaborating. When you come to my church and you know that's not your church, and you know I've invited you, that's a collaboration. That's saying I'm going to work with you. That's I'm going to serve with you. So what's the difference with sharing someone's page or doing a live with someone or promoting help someone? Because if you have gotten somewhere that you know someone is aspiring to be, why not be the salt of the earth? Why not be the light and give them a hand and say, you know what, sis or brother? Let me give you a few nuggets. Let me give you some sauce that'll help you better your business. But instead, we'll close our mouths. We act like we didn't hear that they, got issues or they trying to grow. We act like we didn't hear that. And then we'll go on about our business and then keep asking God, let me be a blessing. Help me be a blessing, Lord. And then God is like, I gave you somebody 10 minutes ago, but you told him you act like you didn't hear him. So come on, beloved, let's be real. Let's be real now. Let's be real. So, like I said, I feel that most people don't collaborate out of fear. So, and let's be clear, these are questions that were asked to me. So I'm making them live and I'm talking about them. So yeah, out of fear. And then you can tell me I'm wrong. I'm gonna hold my opinion out of fear. Okay. Because to work with people is a blessing. God designed us for relationships. So if you're not working with people and y'all are not working together to build and to make money together and to build resources together and to build land together, then you're doing yourself a disservice and you're a liability to the body, not an asset. So I got to tell you the truth on that. If you're wondering why your business isn't going, you wondering what's going on, and you are hating, check yourself. Okay. The next one. I'm going to tell you guys something. Lately, there's been a lot of admissions of depression. And I can tell you guys this, it has not been easy. It just has not been easy to have sessions because a lot of people are feeling lost and left out. And I'm going a different route because I just felt the Holy Spirit. No longer should we wonder if God is there. if the Lord is with you. The Lord is with you. No longer should you question if this is what God has told you to do, because it is. I don't know who I'm talking to here. No longer should you worry about if this is going to make resources for you. Just keep stepping out there on faith. Keep trusting the Lord. You know, a lot of people asked, or there was a lot of rumors last year about my conference and how did she, make that happen, and how, where is money coming from? I mean, I was the news. And all I can tell you is, if you have a problem with what I'm doing, if there is a concern with how I'm doing it, take it up with Jesus. And that's how you should feel about those that are saying that about you. Tell them to take it up with Jesus. Tell them to take it up with Jesus. Beloved, I encourage you today. I encourage you to stay strong. I encourage you to keep pushing. I encourage you to collaborate and network. Please do that. I encourage you, if what you need is another certification, go get it. Stop sitting there questioning yourself. Stop sitting there debating with the Lord. If you heard the Lord, you move. Quit doing that. Be free parents of feeling guilty of your children's choices, because those are their choices. You pat yourself on the back for raising a child up that didn't end up in prison, dead, or jail. You pat yourself on the back. If they graduated from high school and they're still doing it, pushing and living, you did something good, mama. Congratulations. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. So guys, listen, I just had to stop by and give you guys a little bit of motivation and encouragement for your day. Collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. Be vulnerable. Be human. Do not dehumanize yourself. Those tears you cry, cry them. And do not be ashamed of those tears. God, every one of those tears are nothing but prayers to the Lord. And he holds them. He takes those tears. Trust and believe it's not in vain. If you have a moment, you had a moment. It doesn't disqualify you. It doesn't take away the anointing on your life. It doesn't take away your degree. It don't say that you're a bad pastor, apostle, coach. It doesn't say any of that. What it's saying is you are human. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be human. And if you're around folk who say it's not, you need to reevaluate your circle. Because you are not perfect. The moment you can down the cross for anybody and their sins, and you can say you perfect. Until then, humanize yourself. I'm not saying to go out here and act a fool. What I am saying is, if you had a moment and you just couldn't help yourself, and you, oh Lord, because I have them sometimes. I do. I catch myself, because I have family, honey, that'll take you there. Okay, and I mean to my act a straight fool. And so I'm gonna tell you this here. It take a lot of sometimes me just okay. And then there are times I go, hold on, wait a minute. You catch me on the right day in the right pain. Yeah. So, beloved, it's okay. It doesn't say that I'm a bad coach. It doesn't say I'm disqualified to be minister. It doesn't say. What it does say is, hey, when somebody else is dealing with that, I can say to them, honey, I can encourage you and say, sweetheart, you can make it through. It's all right. So, beloved, listen, don't discount yourself. Quit disqualifying yourself. All right. Do what the Lord said. Let's get out here and let's network. Let's support each other, man. Quit this private supporting. Quit going in folks' DMs and then I want to do it publicly. Because it's saying a lot about you. It's telling on you. Do what you have to do for your business and for your brand and for your ministry. Beloved, also, really quickly before I get off here, If you don't learn to give like you learn to get, your business will not go as far as you want it to go. Sometimes you have to give some things away for folk to invest into you, for folk to know and trust you. So sometimes I'm giving a lot of things away, or I'm giving it away like financially. I'm literally giving it away, even if I spent money, because I love God's people and I want to see you well and thriving and doing what you need to do, the best way that you can. So, beloved, I encourage you. I encourage you to go back and rethink some of the things maybe you thought about. I encourage you to ask God to help renew your mind and give your vision clarity. I encourage you to invest your time into Jesus, because without him, you can do nothing. I encourage you to read your word. I encourage you to invest into you, because you're the one that has to be the CSR, the marketing director, the board. You have to be all of this. So you can't do it on E. If people are investing encouragement into you, let them. Don't go in. I appreciate that. Now, if you're doing that, and people call me and say, I just want to tell you what thus said the Lord. Hold on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I know I need it. I will cut off my computer. I will stop what I'm doing to listen, because I need that to do the work in the kingdom 100%. Not 80, not 20, because God deserves all of me. Not a little bit of me, not half of me. And so the same is for you. Guilt, condemnation, that is not from God. Do not walk around holding your head down. Lift up your head, O ye gates, and the King of glory shall come in. Stay focused, stay strong, and stand long. Of course, this is your coach, LT here, serving you a little motivation for your day. I pray that this day here greets you and continues to greet you with love, laughter, and peace, because you deserve it. God bless you guys. Until next time.